We got to give credit where credit is due, so I just want to say that Twitter started this ball rolling. And of course, I'm talking about when Twitter and all these different journalists gave us all an opportunity to see the inner workings of the social media platform. Because let's be honest, guys, we wouldn't have known half of what was actually happening out there otherwise. But look at what it's inspired.
We're flagging problematic posts for Facebook that spread disinformation, and Facebook needs to move more quickly to remove harmful violative posts. Posts that will be within their policies for removal often remain up for days. That's too long. The information spreads too quickly.
And now we know that Facebook dutifully took its orders from the White House. Congressman Jim Jordan and the Judiciary Committee just released documents showing how Facebook routinely caved to the Biden administration's pressure to censor Americans. In an April 2021 email from a Facebook employee to CEO Mark Zuckerberg and COO Sheryl Sandberg, it said, "We're facing continued pressure from external stakeholders, including the Biden White House, to remove posts." That same month, Facebook's president for global affairs told his team that Biden COVID advisor Andy Slavitt was outraged that they didn't remove a particular post.
Now, we're going back to this video again later, but let's go ahead and start off by saying, what the flip, man? How is it that the government holds so much power over these companies, right? You know, you try to think that you have some sort of freedom in this world, even though it's basically online, but freedom nonetheless. And years later, you find out that you were never even free to begin with. That sucks, man. I mean, it's like we're not even free to say what we want. Kind of like being cooped up in a bird cage or something like that. Is that why Twitter's logo is a bird? Or at least it was a bird. Anyway, I'm digging too deep into Twitter. Let's go ahead and go back to Facebook. So I know you guys are curious about what Slavitt was talking about, right? It must have been an absolutely horrible conspiracy theory, right? I mean, for the Biden administration to get involved, well, that's got to be it. I'm building up the tension a little bit here, but let's have Congressman Jordan talk about this extremely offensive post, shall we? I didn't mean to make it sound like I was asking a question there, but you'll get it when you see this.
Congressman, what was that post?
Oh, it was a meme. It was one of these like class action lawsuits. It said, you know, if you've been harmed by COVID, call 1-800. It was one of these kind of things. So they were even censoring a meme, for goodness, some humor. And here's the kicker, Laura. They knew it was wrong. One of those Facebook executives said, "This is a significant incursion into the boundaries of free expression." That is a fancy way of saying this violates the First Amendment, for goodness sake.
Did you see this meme? Man, that was really, really funny. So it had almost 400,000 shares, man. That's just beautiful. And to see these people from the Biden administration losing their minds over a flipping meme, that is just priceless. And so here's the thing. It's not like it's not going to happen in the future. That would be both funny and sad at the same time, huh? You know what is sad though? You haven't liked this video yet. And if you did, make sure that you are still subscribed to me, all right? Appreciate that, guys. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Nick Clegg, who's the president for global affairs over at Facebook. So this guy, he kind of stood up for the White House, pretty much like what Jordan said a while ago. He countered the censorship by saying that this is an incursion into free speech in America. But Slavitt just didn't care.
And we know that the White House was talking to Facebook as well, around the same time period where Joe Biden said Facebook is killing people. He said that publicly. One of his deputy press people said, we're going to look at changing Section 230 unless they do more. These emails, so there was also an email where, so that vice president of Facebook comms, Nick Clegg, he said the White House has previously indicated that it thinks humor should be removed if it's premised on the vaccine having side effects.
Yeah, that one's wild.
So we expect it would similarly want to see humor about vaccine hesitancy removed. And then he said, I can't see Mark Zuckerberg in a million years being comfortable with removing that, and I wouldn't recommend it. And then they also discussed in some of these emails, Facebook executives expressing concern that removing posts in which Americans express hesitation about getting vaccinated could actually make them less likely to get a shot because they feel like the truth is being suppressed. So again, the companies are having all of these understandable conversations given this just ridiculous pressure from the government to censor more content. They're not comfortable with it. They don't want to do it. They regret having taken some of the actions. Like Nick Clegg is going, wait, why are we taking down the lab leak claims? We don't even understand why we're doing that. Just because they want us to? It's really telling, again, that the anger should be at the government, not the company.
Slavitt also said that YouTube would never allow this kind of content. Man, that's cold. Comparing platform censorships? Like, I imagine this is the conversation that they had. Well, Twitter was easy. They had just blocked everyone and everything that we asked. Google's the same. YouTube would never allow this kind of meme to be shared 400,000 times on their platform. So what makes you, Facebook, so gosh darn special? And again, that's just me in my head, like trying to imagine what might have actually happened, but you guys obviously get the point, right? Facebook eventually caved and even put in some changes to their policies because of, well, the pressure from the White House. And this is why it makes sense as to why they're so pissed off with Judge Terry Daugherty, because this guy wants the censorship to stop. I mean, just take me for example. So I've experienced my own content being suppressed, and to be honest, I don't think it matters if I have facts so long as my narrative doesn't match theirs. Then my videos get buried. But that's the price of the truth, I guess. Now, you can share your opinions on jabs and vaccines. That's perfectly fine. This community is open to everybody. And on that topic, you guys know I got to get to it. Fox Business also caught some communication from the White House to the social media platform. So Rob Flaherty, President Biden's digital director, he wanted Facebook to give specific government agencies special access to tools that can target users. Now, why would this dictator want to, wait, what? I'm sorry, I meant to say digital director, not dictator. And so why would this director want to have this kind of power? Well, it's because he was worried about people not being convinced enough to take the C-19 medicine. Facebook was actually talking back in a way because they were worried that people like you and me would be scared about Big Brother's effect. You know, that feeling that you get whenever your phone is listening to you. I mean, I still get that all the time, and I know that it happens a lot with different platforms. This is basically the reason why they were hesitant to give Flaherty access to this kind of power. One, which was to have a generated message about specific worries from people. Oh, this reminds me of a classic clip from years ago.
And then speaking of misinformation and the announcement from yesterday, for how long has the administration been spying on people's Facebook profiles looking for vaccine misinformation?
Well, that was quite a loaded and inaccurate question, which I would
Inaccurate
refute.
how?
Well, Peter, first of all, as you know, we're in a regular touch with a range of media outlets.
And we expect the White House
As
to watch
let me
you
finish.
watch, but
As
nothing
we
goes
are
on Facebook.
as we are in regular touch with social media platforms. This is publicly open information. People sharing information online, just as you are all reporting information on your news stations.
But, okay, so these 12 people who you have on a list, 12 individuals, do they know that somebody at the Surgeon General's office is going through their profile?
I'm happy to get you the citation of where that comes from. There's no secret list. I will tell you that these are people who are sharing information on public platforms on Facebook, information that is traveling, is inaccurate. Our biggest concern here, and I frankly think it should be your biggest concern, is the number of people who are dying around the country because they're getting misinformation that is leading them to not take a vaccine.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Life comes full circle from conspiracy theory to the truth. So what are your thoughts on all this? Let me know in the comment section, guys. And before I go, please, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for dropping a like for the video and for subscribing. And I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Be safe.